Hey guys, Crafty1 here, and in today's video, I'll be going over the most recent Nintendo leaks that go over their upcoming projects that include the code names of them that are most likely for Switch 2. I have been doing a lot of research and found connections that I haven't seen anyone really talk about. So, let's get into them. If you guys didn't know, prominent leaker Midori recently leaked details of unannounced Nintendo games. If you don't know who Midori is, they are a well-known leaker in the video game community, particularly recognized for their accurate leaks related to Sega and Atlus projects. And they are kind of scarily good. Some of Midori's most notable leaks include Persona 5 Royal and Persona 3 Reloaded. For Persona 5 Royal, Midori was among the first to leak details about the game, and for Reloaded, they accurately leaked information about the development of a remastered version of Persona 3 before it was even announced. And recently, they did reveal the icon for Persona 6. And I mean, judging by the record, this is pretty much fact. They also revealed information about Sonic Frontiers before we knew anything about the game, including that it would be an open world. But before we get into the code names that Midori has leaked, what brings more credibility to these is kind of the timing. Because there recently was a breach where a Google employee accessed private data, including internal Nintendo documents, providing a reasonable way for Midori to get a hold of all this info. Anyways, let's get into these code names. To be honest, I don't think all of these games that I'm gonna be talking about are for the Switch 2. And I'll be talking about the ones that I think are going to be released for the Switch as we get to them. Starting off with SP Red. It's kind of obvious. Mario's codename is internally known as Red. For example, Red Star for Odyssey. A lot of people think that this is going to be a sequel to Mario Odyssey, but Midori actually revealed that there's another project being worked on called Silver Star. So if we're just putting all of our trust in Midori, we have to believe that there's going to be a correlation with, Red Star and Silver Star. Personally, myself, I think SP Red will be, of course, another Mario game, but more akin to what we saw with Bowser's Fury. I guess a combination of the 3D world levels and an open world layout. I mean, exactly like we saw in Bowser's Fury, but maybe actually as a full-fledged game. This game, I think, is definitely slated for Switch 2. Next codename we got is Project Banquet. This project is reportedly being developed by ND Cube and Smile Boom, known for their work on the Mario Party series. The name Banquet hits at a party or celebratory theme, suggesting it could be a new Mario Party game or a game with similar mechanics involving multiple characters. This makes sense. It's it's a banquet. It's a celebration. I do think this is a Mario Party game. There is no track record. There isn't really any correlation for it to be Mario Party, except maybe it being developed by ND Cube and Smile Blue. This game could honestly release for the original Switch or Switch 2. I mean, we do have the rest of the year for games to be announced on the first Switch. So I'm pretty sure some of these projects are actually those. The next codename though we got is Edward. This codename is speculated to be a new installment into the Legend of Zelda series. But going off of my research, this is most definitely a remake of an existing Legend of Zelda. And I say this because past codename patterns suggest that. Nintendo has a history of using specific names as codenames for Zelda projects. For example, the codename for Link's Awakening, the remake, was Richard, which references Prince Richard. And of course, this references Prince Edward. The thing is, when they make a mainline game, for example, Breath of the Wild, it was Yu King. It didn't really reference a prince at all. So this is Edward, and the previous remake Zelda title that we got on the Switch was named Richard. I'm pretty sure this is a remake of some kind, most likely being Wind Waker HD or the Twilight Princess HD, maybe even both. Imagine a double pack. Another reason why this isn't another mainline Zelda is because another codename that was revealed, Yu King O. This one was revealed a little bit earlier than the rest of these. The original Breath of the Wild has an internal codename of Yu King, so just adding an O to the end of it makes it seem like it's a remaster or a remake of some kind that's getting ported to the Switch 2. And it just makes a lot of sense. One of the best-selling games on the original Switch. Why not? I mean, maybe even make it a launch title for the Switch 2. But a remastered version of Breath of the Wild would be awesome. And doesn't really leave much room for them to be actively developing a new title for the Legend of Zelda franchise. So I think Edward is, a remake of some kind. Hopefully Wind Waker or Twilight Princess. Next, we have a project codenamed Spiral. According to Midori's Twitter, he says, by researching the data I've received in the last month, it is very likely that this is a codename for the next entry in the Splatoon series. My only question is what kind of research could he be doing to figure out, codenames? He could get like internal development documents. If it wasn't Splatoon, I honestly have no idea what it could be. And this also makes a lot of sense because we're getting the Final Fest pretty soon, and the successor to the Switch will probably need a Splatoon game because it is one of Nintendo's best-selling franchises. That's really have it. I was just putting all my trust in Midori on this one. But next codename we have is codename Anna, which, honestly, without a doubt, is the sequel to Switch Sports. For the sole reason that Switch Sports was named Elsa. To be honest, codenames could probably just come out of nowhere. So having one of the heads of the development team decide it just being called Anna could just be throwing a dart onto a dartboard and just picking a random name. So they're like, let's just make somewhat of a correlation between the two. Anna, Elsa, boom. I will be making a video on what I'd want from that, but that's going to be for another video. Revealed alongside You King O a little earlier than the bunch of codenames that came in was the codename for the Switch 2 that Midori says is Muji. I think I'm pronouncing that right. It's M-U-J-I. The term Muji primarily refers to a Japanese retail company known for its minimalist, non-brand quality goods. What this might mean for the Switch 2 is it still might be that nice, sleek, adult-looking kind of console that the original Switch was. Might be the same kind of design philosophy with the Switch, being a more minimal kind of design. I mean, we've already heard the rumors that the Joy-Cons are magnetic, so that kind of just screams minimalism. Get rid of the rails. It's just literally snap on, snap off. From the research I found, Muji doesn't really mean much in other cultures, but in Japan specifically, it literally just had a minimalist clothing brand. Kind of similar to Uniqlo, if you know that, or IKEA, I guess is the best way I could describe it. Lastly, not really a code name, but like an official reveal from Midori, and going off of, again, previous leaks, pretty credible. After revealing the internal logo for Atlas unannounced Persona 6, Midori confirms in response that Persona 3 Reload and Persona 6 will be heading to Nintendo's next system. I doubt these will be launch titles, but just knowing that a pretty big JRPG company like Atlas is making games for the Switch, one kind of says, like, what kind of power is this system packing? I mean, we got Persona 5 Royal running on Switch, so I'm pretty sure a game similar to that caliber can run on the Switch too, or codename Muji. Well, that is about everything Midori has leaked, and it is worth noting that we are supposed to be getting a direct this month. So most of these project names will probably be revealed during that direct. I guess the ones that are coming out for the Switch. These definitely won't be staying hidden for long because apparently we're also supposed to be getting the reveal for the Switch 2 this physical year. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Do you think all my research was correct? Or do you think some of these code names might be something different? Let me know again in the comment section down below. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. I've been streaming like at least twice a week, and maybe even become a member because you get these videos at least a day early. Anyways, I'm Crafty Type 1, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.